Hello, number one Simpson fan here. I've been watching The Simpsons since I was a young boy. I was allowed to watch them, unlike some people I know, which, I mean, if I'd grown up like that, I simply would have done something I regret, I think. But luckily, I was allowed to watch the yellow people that I love. Although I've waned over the years watching The Simpsons, they are still important to me for the most part, and I wanted to do a tier list of them. I picked one that had 124 characters on it, which most of them I look at and I know. I probably can't name them all, but I definitely know them. So that's, you know, you can take that or leave that. I'm still the number one fan and I don't care what you say. Get out of my life. Now the different tiers we have, they're all over the place, but you kind of get it top to bottom. Simpsons royalty, a cold duff brew, B-sharps type beat, Krusty Burger, mellow yellow, Mr. Burns is mean to Homer and I don't like it, Artie Ziff. Because that little bitch, Artie Ziff, how dare he think he can take the hand of Marge? Get out of here, Archibald. I don't know his actual full name, but I believe it is probably that. Something stupid. I don't know. He thinks he can take the hand of Midge Bouvier. I don't think so. That's Homer's girl. You back off, boy. Agnes, she's good. I like the way she treats him poorly. Although I like Seymour, so technically she's not Seymour's mother, okay? They switched. Remember that episode? I don't know what season it was, but I do. So she's just really bullying just some random guy, which, I mean, I can get behind. She is probably Simpsons royalty, but I'm not going to put her up there because I think there's a few characters that deserve it more than her. She's more of a side character, if anything. I'm going to put her in Krusty Burger. That could change, but I'm going to leave her there. Apu. I don't even have to talk about him. He's going up in Simpsons royalty. He's the first one up there. Give a round of applause to Apu, everybody. Come on. Louder. Faster. Cease. The guy who does the news chopper crosses and stuff. I mean, every time he's on screen, I usually laugh at him. So, I think he hits every time. So, I'm going to put him in the B-sharps type beat. You know, he might have gone higher if he was more prevalent, but when he's on, he's on. Early on, we've got Artie Ziff. What a bitch. What a prick. How dare you? How dare you? You come at the king, you best not miss, and you did. You missed hard, trying to love up Marge. How dare you? How dare you? I've said it in the intro and I've said it again, but you... break you. You're an ant beneath my boot. Homer is a better man than you'd ever be. I don't care how much money you have. Disgust me. Now, is this just Sexy Barney, or is it regular Barney? Because Sexy Barney would go first, but I think regular Barney... I think he just automatically has to go on Simpsons royalty, right? I think my favourite episode of him is when he gets sober. I think that's probably my favourite. And I'm sure there's been a few, but it's one of the only ones I can think of that he's like kind of almost the main character in. I'm just going to put it... I mean, he's been around for ages. He's a great character. I think he has to go on Simpsons royalty. I don't think there's any question about that. And if you do question it, you can go tell the complaints department. I don't have one. That's the joke. Get out. What a terrible photo of Bart. But again, I don't really have to speak much on Bart, I don't think. I don't have to tell you all the ways he makes me happy, the little hooligan. But he has to go in Simpsons royalty as well. But he has to go above Apu, I think. That's fair. I don't think. I know he has to be there. Bart must be in Simpsons royalty. Dear old little rat boy. But if he wanted to change his name, he could have been Homer Jr. The kids could have called him Hoju. The KBBL guys. I can't remember their names. That seems to be a running theme. And is it dementia related? I wouldn't be surprised. They are good side characters. They always, have something zippy and fun to say. I would put them in B-sharps type beat. I think you could argue which one's better between the guy, Pie in the Sky guy, and the KBBL guys. I think it's fairly even, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Bleeding Gums Murphy. He was only in I want to say 2 episodes, maybe 3. I mean, he might have been in more recent times as like a flashback or something, I don't know. But from what I remember, he was in very few, but he left a lasting impact. And I believe for that, he deserves to be in a cold duff brew. And I know he's probably featured less than these two lotto people underneath him, but I feel like in the grand scheme of things, he's had more impact. Okay, maybe not as funny compared to these guys, but he's had more impact on the show in general and on Lisa. A cold duff brew, it's what he deserves. R.I.P. Sideshow Bob. What an evil guy. Evil, evil, evil. I don't like him, but I do. I like him because he's evil. You know, when I was younger, I was always scared that Sideshow Bob, even if I'd seen the episode multiple times, he was going to kill Bart. So for that, Sideshow Bob, and for the character you are, I think you have to go up in a cold duff brew. What a beautiful red-headed man, but also evil and always scheming, forever scheming, which makes me sweat. Although that could just be the lights in here. I want to say this character's name's Booberella. Did I think she was hot when I was younger? Yes. Do I think so now? I'm an adult. So, no, obviously not. Do I think she's hot now? That's ridiculous. That's such a silly thing to ask. No. No. An old character from The Simpsons that I did find attractive when I was younger? No, I don't find her attractive now. That's stupid. You're an idiot. Stop even speaking. I'm going to put her with Mellow Yellow because I don't really care. But also she had an impact on me as a person, I think. Speechless. That's what she makes me. Not now, but if I was a child now, I would be speechless. That's how I would be speaking. I think she made an impact. Shut up. Mr. Burns. Oh, here comes Mr. Evil Man. Always mean to Homer. Leave him alone. He's doing it for Maggie. He does it all for Maggie. Yet doesn't matter how much you push him down and spit on him. He's always doing it for Maggie. Always. So Mr. Burns, even though you are evil, I do respect you. And respect what you've done for the show. And in the show. And the character you are. So I'm going to put you in Simpsons royalty. Carl, I love Carl as much as the next guy. I'm going to put him in a cold duff brew. There's going to be some characters where I don't really need to speak about him much, okay? There's not going to be much of a spiel. I'm just going to chuck him in there and say, that's where they're going. Talk to the hand, just like the Arnold Schwarzenegger said. I said Schwarzenegger. Super Nintendo Charmers, I do like him as a character. I feel like he's the most almost sane out of all of them. Out of every character that's probably on this board. Where all the other characters are kind of like quirky and different in their own way, some more than others. I think he's the foil. But even then, sometimes he's, he has his moments. But, yeah, I think you have to put him up at least at a cold duff brew. You could argue he goes up to Simpsons royalty, but that's tough. I'm going to put him in a cold duff brew. You can argue. I'm not arguing. Comic book guy, same shtick all the time, big fat loser. He's a decent character. Doesn't he get a girlfriend eventually or something? Japanese, of course. I'm going to put him at the back end of Krusty Burger. Disco Stew. I like Disco Stew, alright? He's a great character. He's been around for a long time. Kind of indifferent on him. Don't care too much about him. I'll put him at the butt end of Krusty Burger. I was going to put him above Comic Book Guy, but I feel like that's not where he belongs. I think Comic Book Guy does belong above him. Dr. Nick! Every time Dr. Nick came on, I knew it was going to be a good episode. Every time. I was like, Dr. Nick's here? Fire. I feel like Dr. Nick, for me anyway, some people might have a different opinion, but I feel like he's a cold duff brew, and I think he's above Carl, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I think Sideshow Bob might be above Carl as well, to be honest. We'll put him there. Dr. Nick was comic relief, even though the show is a comedy. But he was more eccentric, I feel like, than the rest of the characters, which doesn't happen very often. I enjoyed the presence of Dr. Nick, always and forever. He'll forever hold a close place in my heart. Even just for his little weird voice. Just his little weird voice. Gets me going. Not like that. Yucky evil baby that makes me scared because it's got a unibrow. You're going in with Artie Ziff, ugly, specky, weird, baby, unibrow baby. I don't like you. Get out of here. Mole Man. What would we do without sweet, beautiful, wrinkly, scary, beautiful Mole Man? Nothing. Simpsons wouldn't exist without Mole Man. And don't even try and say it would, okay? Because that would be a ridiculous statement. Mole Man goes above Barney, okay? I'm gonna leave a poo above him, but something in me does want to put Mole Man at the top. For now, I'm gonna leave him where he's in Simpsons royalty, but he almost deserves to be up there with Bart, I'd say. Mole Man is a treasure, and I love him. And I wish I could give him a kiss on the head. Duff Man. Would it be sacrilegious to not put him in a cold duff brew? I think it would be, so I'm going to put him in there. Now, I know this guy, but I don't know his name. I know Lou, I know Chief Wiggum, but I can't remember this guy's name for the life of me, alright? Crucify me all you want. Crucify me all you want. Put me up. I just accidentally hit my light and now I'm really bright, so it kind of works because I'm getting crucified. But hook me up to the cross and crucify me because I don't know his name. I'm sorry. I don't know everything. Although I am still the #1 Simpsons fan, and don't you forget it. I mean, I don't think he plays that big of a part. And, you know, he's not one of my favourites, to be completely honest. But I can't really put him in Mr. Burns' Mean Homer, and I don't like it. I feel like that'd be rude. So I'm going to put him next to Dolph. I'm going to put him next to Dolph. I think that's fair. Fat Tony. I like Fat Tony. He's fat, and his name's Tony. What's not to love? Again, like a Dr. Nick character. Every time he shows up, I know it's going to be a good episode. I feel like he's a staple of The Simpsons. So for that, I think he deserves to be up with a cold Duff brew. I'm going to put him just below Sideshow Bob, I think. Just below. Dr. Frink, another nerd I want to put down with Artie Ziff, but he's a good one. I like him. He's fun. I'm going to put Dr. Frink in the B-sharp type beats at the top. Who doesn't love Gil? Who doesn't love Gil? Gil's fantastic. He's another Dr. Nick type character, which I love when he comes in. He's so pathetic. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with being pathetic sometimes, alright? He's the perfect amount of pathetic that I can just love. He's a terrible salesman, but he could sell me ice if I was an Eskimo, as they would say. I'm going to put him up in a cold Duff brew just below Super Nintendo Charmers. Grandpa Simpson. The Simpsons would not be a thing without Grandpa Simpson. Homer Simpson, not born. He's the lifeblood of this show, and he says some beautifully funny things. Which was the style at the time. Anybody remember that line? Beautiful. Another old Simpsons character that I want to kiss on the forehead. Yeah, was he always the best father? Maybe not. But I think he tried his best. And he didn't always do his best, but he tried his best. That is what I would like to think anyway. Some people might disagree. But he's going to Simpsons royalty. Maud Flanders, one of the first deaths in The Simpsons. There's been a couple, which you wouldn't think in a cartoon show, but it's been running that long. I mean, there's going to be a couple of deaths. Maud Flanders, I want to say she was the second death of the show, and probably the most impactful, especially on the character of Ned Flanders, whom, you know what, even though they're kind of enemies, not really, mainly just Homer's enemy, Ned's a great guy, except he's left-handed, which is, you know, we can talk about that, but I think Maud Flanders, her death's impact, more than her character's impact, had more impact, if that makes sense, I don't know. So I'm going to put her up in a cold Duff brew. Next, we've got Hank Scorpio. Now, would I rather Hank Scorpio or Elon Musk to be a real person? I think Hank Scorpio. Way less cringe. I think he's only in one episode, but he is iconic. I'm going to put him at the bottom of B-sharps. Right, we've got Miss Hoover. Miss Hoover, yeah, she's good. She's fine. I mean, I think that's another mellow yellow for me. She has a few good lines from what I remember. I couldn't tell you any of them, but I know she's got a couple. Jimbo, Nelson Associate, right, you know. One of the best bullies there's ever been, you know, going over 30 years strong. I've got to give it to him. I'm going to put him in Krusty Burger. You know, one of the best to ever do it. But character-wise, we got the only Lionel Hutz. I think, you know, he has a special place in my heart. He's a bit of a goofball. He's not very good at his job. But I'd let him represent me, just because of who he is. I'm going to put him up the top of the B-sharps. I mean, you could almost put him in a cold Duff brew, I think. B-sharps at the top, that's fair. That's fair enough. Milhouse's mum, I don't even care to remember her name. So much I despise her. She's always mean to Kurt. Stop being mean to Kurt. He's just a cracker salesman. Or eater or something. And for that, I'll never forgive her. I'm putting her in with Artie Ziff. Dr. Hibbert, I would trust Dr. Hibbert with my life. Dr. Hibbert would heal me from any wound, any cancer, any illness. I could have the worst illness known to man, and I would be sure that he would save me. I think Dr. Hibbert deserves to go up in a cold Duff brew. The fat little German kid, Inkelschork, or whatever. I like him. I like when he's getting chased by Homer, getting slapped with a towel. That sticks in my mind very often, for no particular reason, just because it's funny. Him, I'm just going to put him in the middle of mellow yellow, you know. Troy McClure. If he was a real person, there is no way that he wouldn't have gotten an EGOT by now. He can dance, he can sing, he can act. He's everything. His IMDb's got to be one of the longest of all time. Every time he pops up, it's memorable. The best was the Planet of the Apes musical, I think, and I think most people will agree. To be honest, I'm going to have to put him up in Simpsons royalty. I think I was calling him Kurt before. I meant Kirk. I don't know why I was calling him Kurt. I mean, it's close to Kirk. So, do you really blame me? Don't, please. I'm fragile. Just because of that wicked wife of his is always mean to him, always so rude. I'm going to put him up in Krusty Burger. I'm going to put Patty and Selma together. I feel like, you know, they can't be separated. It's like separating twins at birth, which, I mean, I guess is what I'd be doing because I'm pretty sure they're twins. So, you know, I don't want to do that. If I was a doctor and they came out, I would go, no, I'm not separating them, even though they're scary and they're smoking already out of the womb. Patty and Selma are important to the series, but also they're very rude to Homer, and I don't like it. But I think they've got to go in the B-Sharps category. As much as I would like to sit here and go, no, you're in the Artie Ziff category, I mean, they're Patty and Selma. They're Patty and Selma. I got her. Ralph Wiggum, he has such great lines such as Super Nintendo Charmers and others that I can't remember off the top of my head. But even though I can't, I'm still the #1 Simpsons fan. Do not question anything I ever say, ever. I would protect Ralph with my life, as if he were my own son. I think he's in the middle to upper echelon of a cold duff brew. I think that's fair to put him up there. Lenny. The one specific thing I can remember from Lenny is when they're rebuilding Ned Flanders' house. And, you know, they've done a shit job. And Ned starts blowing up. And then he gets there. He's like, what's going on? I just got here. After he gets scolded by Ned. That's funny. That's some good stuff. He's done other things, but that's the most memorable. I think if I've got Carl up here, I think I've got to put Lenny up in a cold duff brew. I think that's fair. Rod and Todd, they go together like Todd and Rod. I think Rod and Todd deserve to be in the B-Sharps, both of them. I think you could probably put them... Honestly, I think you put them just below Lionel Hutz, both of them. I think that's where they deserve to go. Chief Wiggum. Where would we be without Chief Wiggum? Probably have no mafia or crime, because he's not very good at his job. But that's okay. I think you got to put Chief Wiggum up with a cold duff brew. I think you have to. I think you put him probably... I think I'm going to put him up in Simpsons royalty. Ken Brockman. I would watch the news every night if Ken Brockman was reading it. I would watch the news most nights if Ken Brockman was reading it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to put him up with a cold duff brew. I'm going to put him probably above Sideshow and above Dr. Nick. I think that's fair. Mr. Teeny, what a fantastic sidekick. Better than Sideshow Bob, better than Sideshow Mel. I'm going to put Mr. Teeny at the top of Mellow Yellow. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing at this point, even though I am the #1 Simpsons fan that's ever lived. Mayor Quimby. If he was a real person right now, he would win the presidency of the United States. And I would bet my whole life savings on that, which isn't very much, but I'd get a decent chunk back. Mayor Quimby, integral character. Why is everything so hard in my life? I'm going to put him up the top of a cold duff brew. I don't know if I can put him in Simpsons royalty. I think I probably could, and people would be like, okay, fair enough, but I'm not gonna. Willie? I love Willie. Not like that. He's a great Scotsman. He's a great Springfielder. I'm going to put him in a cold duff brew. I think I'm going to put him above Santa's Little Helper. Krusty the Clown. Where will I put Krusty the Clown? He brings joy to millions. Scratch that. Thousands. I'm going to put Krusty in Simpsons royalty. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. Classic. #1 Simpsons fan. I know what that is. That's a good line. No explanation needed. She's up in Simpsons royalty, of course. Maggie. Again, Maggie, has to go on Simpsons royalty. That's just a must. It has to happen. Marge Simpson. Where would we be without Marge Simpson? Nowhere. There would be no Simpsons without Marge Simpson. Marge Simpson is the Simpsons. And Homer. But he hasn't come up yet. He'll be there soon. Just relax. She goes at the top of the tree of Simpsons royalty. Ned Flanders. I think Flanders obviously has to go up in Simpsons royalty, but where? That's the question. Okay, I think I'm going to put him above Maggie, but below... I think you can bring Grandpa Simpson below Ned. The neighbour is mowing. How good's that? Right next to the fence. Oh, I love it. Couldn't have waited 5 more minutes. To be fair, has no idea that I'm doing this right now, so I'm not going to blame him. And it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so probably a good time to be mowing. Milhouse. Milhouse has to go up in Simpsons royalty, I think. He's the sidekick of Bart. Great character. I'd probably put him just below Mr. Burns. I love Moe. The only thing I don't like about Moe is that he's always chasing Midge, or I'd leave Midge alone. I'd put him above Grandpa Simpson. Nelson? Bullies in real life look up to people like Nelson, but guess what? They couldn't even lace his boots. Alright, he is... you could argue #1 of all time. #1 of all time. I'd put him in cold duff brew. Seymour Skinner fell for the biggest trick in the book. eat my shorts. I'll put him up. I'll give him some respect. I'll put him in a cold duff brew. I think he's very important to the show. Smithers, I'm gonna put Smithers at the top of a cold duff brew. I think that's where he belongs. Last but never least is Homer J. Simpson, the character of The Simpsons. Of course, he's got to go at the top of Simpsons royalty. There are no words to describe that big fat yellow man, only actions and songs and words. I stand by what I said. He's the main character of the show. There are many main characters to the show, but he is the main character. And yeah, obviously he deserves Simpsons royalty. That's where he belongs. Number 1. So this is the tier list. Honestly, there's probably some things that could be changed. I'm going to be honest, It's not perfect. But when you got 124 characters, it's hard to kind of, get it all succinct and correct. I think I did a decent job. Did I do a good job? No. But decent? Yes. Leave a like and subscribe. Let me know where you'd put characters and where I went wrong. Don't kill me. Don't hurt me, please. I'm scared. Don't do it. And yeah, I'll see you later. Simpson on.
Shifty Drongo. I love Shifty Drongo.